Heidi ho there, neighbor. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Drew. Without a coffee, it's too late and I got to get some sleep tonight. So at 62 years old, I decided to ride my 2012 Harley, nicknamed now the Beast. It's electric glide from Toronto to Sturgis, South Dakota, alone. Rode through thunderstorms, nearly ran out of gas in the Black Hills. I almost got an 8-hour tattoo. Saw some of the most spectacular roads I've ever ridden on. Went to the Buffalo Chip to see Leonard Skinner and discovered Sturgis wasn't quite what I expected. So here's what happened. I'll give you the lowdown here. So why Sturgis? Well, I heard about this place for years, right? It's like a legendary biker place you gotta go see. You saw it on the news once a year, and last year I checked it out when they were advertising it quite a bit, and I thought thousands of bikers, looks pretty interesting, and I was on the fence for a long time this year about going, and I thought, hey, talked to my wife about it. She said, you can do it, I'm not going. She didn't want to sit on the back, and I don't blame her, but it's a long, long ways away, right? So, I mean, it's like 1,500 miles from here. So I figured out what I would take with me, figured out what I would need, and went to a bunch of Harley dealerships, got the bike tuned up, got a new back tire, got some luggage, really, really good luggage. Man, that stuff, it was like perfect for this, and I could take a lot of stuff with me. And got the went to two Harleys places and told them that what I was going to have done, the one light bulb was out, and they both didn't fix it. So then I went to the third one while I was getting some luggage there, and the manager came out with me, the service manager, and I had her look at the front. She said, yeah, I can fix it for you right now. And this was like 2 days before I'm going to leave, and I didn't even know I was going to leave yet on the Saturday, but I think it was the Thursday. And so they fixed it on the spot. Man, talk about good service. Pfaff Harley Davidson in Concord. Really, really good. And beautiful place too. So thanks very much for that. Appreciate it. And I will be back to see them again for sure. So at this time I was thinking of still leaving on Sunday, and because I had the hotels I booked now that I decided to go. Went online and I booked Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night. No. Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night. And then I got home and figured, well, why don't I give it an extra day, because it's a long ways away, and then I can travel in 3 days. So I figured, okay, we'll do that. Then I started driving and figured, well, things are going so good, I can do it in an extra day. So in 2 days still. And so I got an extra day of being there. So I managed to figure out, I got a day at the Days Inn for the Monday night or Sunday night, and booked a hotel there. So in any case, the ride out. So when I was leaving in Port Huron through Michigan, and I met some younger guys from New Hampshire. That was wild. They were going out to Sturgis as well. It was like 3 or 4 of them, and they were like in their 20s, early 20s. So that was pretty cool. And Chicago wasn't bad at all. It wasn't the Windy City like they say it was, and I didn't get shot. So there's that. And I was making really good time. I was thinking about Madison, Wisconsin, and into Minnesota, and it was getting dark around 8. So I just kept going, and I got to this place called Austin in Minnesota, and they had this big, huge dog show that every hotel was booked. So then they couldn't tell me anywhere. So I got on my chat GPT where I was doing all my scheduling and stuff through. It gave me a list of hotels that I could check out. So I called one of them and got the Holiday Inn Express or something like that. The last room that they had. And she said it's just a fluke that she got it. It was in our system and it wasn't online. So, and that was in a place called Albert Lee. Pretty weird, but Albert Lee. Complimentary breakfast at 6 a.m., which was really cool. Then I walk outside and there's a thunderstorm. And man, I hate driving in the rain. And it's just like, when I was younger, had a few incidences where the bike would swerve and stuff like that on hydroglide and stuff like that. And it was pretty scary. So I never did like that, but in any case, it was only a few hours and I got through that. And then luckily, I had a good set of goggles just in case. And the rain guard I put over top of it, and had a rain jacket and a rain wet skins pants, so no problem. So then got there, and so they had a big, nice heat wave in South Dakota. So thermostat on the bike was like 90 at least, maybe 95 in some spots. And then you add the bike heat and then the sun on it. Man, I was stripping down to like, got the t-shirt going and that was it. But so got there, got the hotel booked, made a good time, really good time. It's like the speed limits are crazy. You can go pretty fast there, right? Like in South Dakota, the speed limit is 80 miles per hour, not kilometers, miles. And most of the time I was doing like 120, 130 kilometers all the way down. But yeah, it was hard, fast riding, you know, but never done that for that length of time before. So the next day, so I booked into the hotel. The receptionist says, well, we've got fresh soup here for you and fresh pie. So I said, yeah, that sounds good. She said, it'll really help you hydrate. So I did. It was really good. And had that for dinner and passed out. And so the next morning I was up early, had complimentary breakfast at the Days Inn, and did Spearfish Canyon, which was the nicest spot I've ridden pretty much anywhere ever. It was really, really good. Tall pines, streams everywhere, like really fresh, clean water. Everybody's raving about how they could just go in there and wash themselves and drink the water and the whole bit. But did that, and that was early in the morning. Then right to Deadwood, another town right around there, for coffee, which is a nice historic old town. And then went through to Custer State Park, and it winds around in this park habitat, whatever, sanctuary, and bison are there all over the bloody place. And luckily they didn't attack anybody. I guess they were pretty much used to it, but they tell you not to go out and try and chase them, which I didn't. Yeah, surprising, eh? But then Needles Highway, which has a lot of one-way tunnels and really twisty roads. Went right up through the mountains and everything to a place called Norbeck Lookout. Not Norbert, Norbeck Lookout, where you look around for the next driver that's coming up, because there was thousands of them, tons and tons of riders everywhere. It was a busy weekend. That weekend was really busy. And then I rode up to Mount Rushmore, where I'd expect to see construction starting on Trump, but there was nothing. They didn't have his face up there yet. Maybe it's still on the way. I don't know. But so a lot of twisty roads, and then I went up to, and that was pretty much it for the day, man. I was bushed. After Mount Rushmore, there was a lot of twisty roads, like snake roads. Like, it was tiring just going back and forth, first gear, second gear, back and forth. And then, I mean, not by yourself. There's riders like right there, all over the place. It was very busy at that time. That's the thing about going first thing in the morning. There's not nearly as many riders as in midday, but it is what it is. You are where you are. So I did that. Went to the Best Western, checked in, washed up, and then headed down to Sturgis for a burger and a near beer, Heineken Zero, at the Oasis, which had these seats in front of these windows with no glass on them, so you could basically people watch, and you're right there, right? So that was interesting. A lot of different people there. Yeah, let's just say that, a lot of interesting people, all sorts, all kinds, all walks of life. So and it just made for a good spot to people watch. Did that, and then walked around. Uh, what else? Oh, I walked around. I saw some cops there. Talked to them for a while, and they said it was pretty nice so far. No problems. Got a selfie with them. You probably saw that already. And then I walked a little bit further, and I saw this guy that I follow on the internet, which I had actually contacted, asking him if he's interested in me writing a book on him, and he's going to think about it. Called the Biker Guru and his wife Wendy, and very nice people. I got a selfie with them as well. Just talked to them for briefly, quickly for a second, and then let them go on their way. And that's about it. Then I walked around a little bit more and figured I'd take off. Got back to the hotel, crashed out. The next morning was Tuesday, headed out to the Devil's Tower, where they filmed the Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Sorry, the voice is going. Caught a little bit of a cold, I think, on the way back. So they filmed that Close Encounters of the Third Kind, you know, where the guy's climbing behind it, and then on the other side of it, they got the spaceships are landing and everything like that. And he had made that out of clay in his kitchen and stuff, and or out of garbage. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. That was in Wyoming, so which is the state line. Is not far from our hotel. The hotel that I stayed at, Best Western. So that's in Spearfish, and Spearfish is not too far. I guess maybe half an hour from the town line, state line, or whatever. Not even. So I start driving, and I see a sign that says Beulah. And I right away thought about the old Porky's movie. If you're as old as me, you probably remember Beulah Ballbreaker, but the gym teacher from that. And that made me laugh. So then right after that, I see a roadrunner cross the road in front of me. And they're pretty small. Like, they're not big like in the cartoons, but looked around for the coyote. No coyote. Too slow, I guess. That was funny. But got to the tower around 8 a.m. and it was nice to see up close and nice in the cool morning, because it got hot there when I was leaving. A couple hours after that, got very, very warm, but really cool. And then on the way in there, they have all these prairie dogs in their holes, all stopping. So they tell you to slow down on these signs, and then you stop and you look. Why am I slowing down? You look, and there's all these guys popping up everywhere out of these holes, and they're just like whack-a-mole like that, right? They're everywhere, and it's hilarious. But just like you see on Mutual of Omaha or something like that. So did that. That was cool. And then drove around, went to a couple small towns called Hewlett and Sundance, picked up a couple cigars from a vendor. They were all over the place, these vendors. Every few miles, they set up shop and smoked that, watched out for lighting fires and stuff like that. They didn't have a fire ban in effect there. It wasn't that bad, but other places did. And so I was very careful. That was pretty cool. Yep. What else did I do? Almost ran out of gas. Yeah. So went down to Nemo Road, took a wrong turn. Was supposed to go left, and I went right. Headed up towards Wyoming again. Had no cell service. A quarter tank of gas, so I was starting to freak out, and couldn't get my maps to work at all. Right. So finally, I got to a spot, pulled over, got on chat, said, "Where am I? Where's the gas station?" He said, "It's right in front of you." So half a mile up the road. So I just couldn't see it. But so I rolled in there on fumes. It was brutal. Yeah. But man, talk about, I mean, you're going to be in the middle of nowhere, you think, right? And I would have been, help get a tin can full of gas. And, I should actually carry a siphoning thing with me or something, a tube or something, but don't want to do that again. From now on, after that, I made sure I had lots of gas. So during the day, I decided to grab some Skinner tickets, actually, online, because I heard they were playing. So I went to see them that night. I figured when in Rome, hey, do as the Romans do. And went there. I got the directions from chat when I got to the hotel, and it took me around the back way. to the other side, which was of the parking of the Buffalo Sturgis place, Buffalo Chip it was called. It's a big, huge trailer park, camping area, and they have big, huge stage and staging area, and all this. Like you walk around, you could ride your bike right up to the stage or anywhere around there where there's room, and sit on your bike, and they love you to rev it, and it's like, oh my gosh. And these guys, like, they just never grew up, right? I mean, everybody that was camping there just rode their bike up there, and you're on private property, so you can do what you want, basically. And they had security there, but no cops. So reminded me of Rock Hill Park when I was younger up in Shelburne, but that's another story for another time that I won't tell you. But so, and as soon as I walk in, of course, waitresses everywhere with trays full of shots of my favorite rum, Sailor Jerry. But I don't drink anymore. I had one beer at Christmas, and I'm still on kind of diet, watching my everything. So I haven't had a drink since September, other than that one. So almost a year now. But that's how I'm trying to keep the weight off. So I said, nope, thanks anyways. But and I'm riding. I'm not gonna have a few drinks and go back riding, right? So, but yeah. So it was different sitting there listening to Skinnerd. They didn't come on until 10:30 at night, which was brutal. They played some cover bands, and not really my kind of like heavy metal. All this kind of cover bands. Hair Nation, which the guy basically did all sorts of Hair Nation stuff. Like Quiet Riot, Brett Michaels, or whatever his name is, and with all that kind of junk. Not my cup of tea. I went there to see Skinnerd, and it's not like the old Skinnerd, I can tell you that. I saw him twice in Toronto as well, previously. And there's just, if you ever watch the old videos of Leonard Skinnerd, no comparison. None whatsoever. And it's sad, but at least they're trying, I guess. But, so, there was that. Got out of there. I didn't watch the whole thing even. I mean, it would have been going on for a couple hours, right? And I'm just like, no, man, I got to go home, go back and crash. So Wednesday, I toured around this place called Van Auker Canyon, again in Nemo Road area, and that's where they had a bad hailstorm the day before. So when I missed the turn, I was supposed to go left. That's where I would have ended up, in the middle of the hailstorm. So luckily, God was watching, or somebody, and I turned right, and I almost ran out of gas, but I didn't. But I didn't get caught in the hailstorm. Wild and crazy. So there's that. Yeah, what else? Oh, I got this stuff written down so I wouldn't forget, because the memory is, hey, I'm 62, but I'm in good shape. Yeah, right. Yeah, but what else? So they were forecasting more storms in the afternoon. So the place was like filtering out a little bit. A lot of guys that trailered it in were packing her up. So I figured I'd run down to Sturgis again and grab some t-shirts for the grandkids. I got 2 grandkids, so got some stuff for them. I didn't get everybody for everything, everything for everybody, because I'm on the bike, right? How much stuff are you gonna get? Bought a few t-shirts for myself, basically, as I was there, because I was running out of t-shirts to wear. And so went there, and I had originally thought about getting a tattoo, a big one, and I had it made up with chat and designed and everything like that, and was gonna have the Close Encounters of the Third Kind tower in the back, and me on the bike, and Red Star on it, and all that. And I looked at it, and I thought, no, so I talked to the guy about it ahead of time, and he was going to be there, and he said, you're looking at 8 hours in the chair, and it's going to cost a lot of money. So he told me how much, and I was on the fence, and finally I went up to him. I said, no, I can't do it, buddy. Just no. Plus the acting people, they don't like that, right? Casting is not too keen on big, huge hunk, and there's more to cover up if you have to, and it just doesn't show good. So I said, no, thanks anyways. And that was that. So then that was it. So then I figured get to bed early. I went to Milestone's family restaurant right next door, which was really good food, man. And it's right next door. And so I just had like a roast beef sandwich, hot roast beef, and man, delicious, and good prices, perfect service. 2 thumbs up there, that's for sure. Milestone's family restaurant, and it was delicious. And so then I went back, got to sleep really early, showered and everything, when crashed out early. Got up 3 o'clock, out of the door at 3:30 in the morning. Oh, biker. There was a bit of rain, so for a few hours off and on rain, it was geared up again, no problem. But first gas station, I talked to this guy from Latvia. He was down. He was working in. He says, "Yeah, I'm out in America now," but he was a trucker, and he said, he was riding his bike towards Sturgis. He was asking me all sorts of questions about it. So hopefully he's having a good time there right now, buddy. If you're seeing this, good talking to you. So kept driving, was making good time, and I ended up going straight through to Chicago, a place called Hoffman Estates. And Chat picked up this hotel for me, which was a really nice hotel, a good price. And it was, what was it? It was, I forget which one it was now. I'm still tired. So slept like a baby, got out of there at 7 a.m. and went to a Barnes & Noble in Michigan to grab something from a Lego thing for my daughter. She wanted one. She sourced it out. So she says, "It's right on the way." So I said, okay, grab that. I could fit that in. Did that. And I had just enough room in the main case to put it in, which was cool. So other than a mild delay at the border, which was pretty much standard, right? But very nice people at the border guard or whatever, yeah, and no problems whatsoever. The only problem I had on the way was the 401 delay at Kitchener. Was stop and go like for half an hour. It's brutal, man. It's like it was hot, and so I'm half an hour away from home, and that's where I come up with the stuff. So was Sturgis worth it? Well, I wouldn't say everything was wonderful, but it was pretty good. Some things were really good. Some things were, the concert, but it was an experience, right? Am I glad I did it? Yes, I'm glad I did it. It was a challenge, and I met the challenge and did pretty good. The bike, it was a beast. I mean, that thing, to ride like that at that speed, and I was going fast, and I was going really, really fast, and for that length of time. It's got the 6th gear on it, so it's like basically 5 plus an overdrive, and it just cruises. It's got a cruise control on it. It's just like you're in a Cadillac. So would I do it again? I don't know. I would have to think about that. My memory's just so crappy that I'll probably forget all the bad things or not so great things, and just the good things next year. So you never know. But at 62, there's still other places that I haven't seen, things I haven't done, places to be, people to see, places to go. But you never know. There's a lot of other roads, so maybe I'll look around for a different type of rally or something. You never know. But I know they have one in Florida, Daytona, but that's a wild and crazy one. I don't think I'd go for that. That's a different thing. It's a whole new ball game. Anyways, that's my trip to Sturgis. Toronto or Brampton to Sturgis and back within a week. I left Saturday morning and got back last night, just after dinner. And so that is Friday. So pretty cool. All right. Hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe if it moves you. Take it easy. Have a good weekend.